As a global film star, Hugh Grant has become accustomed to media attention. But that doesn't mean he enjoys his privacy being repeatedly invaded. And at this inquiry, set up to examine the worst excesses of the British news media, Grant seemed to relish the chance to be among the first to give evidence.
And I expect hatchet jobs. That's been the story of the last 17 years. But it always does make you grind your teeth slightly when they're based on falsities and misreportings.
He described how over the years he had commenced at least 10 libel actions against British newspapers. And he explained why he felt illegal surveillance of celebrities had become endemic in the tabloid press.
Mr. Grant listed story after story which he said could only have come from newspaper reporters listening in illegally to his mobile phone answer phone messages. But he was challenged, couldn't the stories have come from some other legitimate source? Well, maybe they had a lucky guess, he said, with some bitterness in his voice.
And it wasn't just phone hacking. There was, he said, a culture of paid tip-offs.
All I know is that for a number of years, although it did get better in recent years, if someone like me called the police for a burglary, a mugging, something in the street, something that happened to me or my girlfriend, the chances are that a photographer or reporter would turn up on your doorstep before a policeman.
One of the worst offenders for phone hacking was the weekly tabloid, The News of the World. It has since been closed down by its parent company, News International. But for years, the newspaper commissioned private investigators and assigned its reporters to secure front-page exclusives with scant regard for conventional ethics. Also giving evidence Monday were the parents of a murdered schoolgirl whose mobile phone messages were actually tampered with by reporters during the police investigation.
One would sincerely hope that News International and other media organisations would sincerely look very carefully at how they procure, how they obtain information about stories, because obviously the ramifications are far greater than just an obvious story in the press.
Around the world, freedom of the press, freedom of expression are things to aspire to and to defend. But this inquiry may yet find that in the UK, the free press has been its own worst enemy. Paul Brennan, Al Jazeera, London.